Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you from my studio today. I'm working on a lot of different projects, but I wanted to take the time to do this quick video just to share with you an experience that I've had that I'm sure many of you have had. And this video was sparked by an email that I received from a follower. And when I read her email, it just really got to me right in my heart, and I just felt that I needed to do a video. So this video is about what to do if you have a creative block and you can't seem to get past it in order to keep creating. Not just any creative block like writer's block where you have a blank piece of paper and you don't know what to put on it. It's more of a fear-based creative block. It's more of the fear of creating something and the fear of it not turning out. That's more of the block that I'm talking about. Now, most people will tell you, there are other videos here on YouTube, articles all over the internet that will say, if you have that type of creative block, if you have a fear of creating, if you think that everything that you're doing is crap and you're getting too much in your head and you just can't seem to produce anything that you're happy with, they suggest that you just keep pressing on. You just keep creating. It's the only way to really work through it. I believe that that is a great strategy. But this video is for those of you who have tried that, who have tried to press on and keep creating, but you keep getting down on what it is that you're doing, and then it just sort of feeds on itself. The more you create, the worse you think it is, and then you just can't get past that. So this video is for you. Back to the email that I received. It was from a woman who really enjoyed my spirit animal series. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I have other videos on here where I do time lapses of some of my spirit animals. And I work on Yupo paper with acrylic and alcohol inks. And she wanted to experiment with Yupo paper and all the inks. And so she bought everything that I had suggested her to buy in order to start working on this type of style. And she messaged me and she said, I've got everything and I can't find the strength to get started. It's been staring at me and I just can't even put my piece of paper down on the table to get started. I'm just so filled with fear. And that really just, it made me very sad for her. Also very sympathetic because again, I've been there. So what I suggest may be a bit controversial compared to what you probably have read, again, about just pressing on and keep going and just keep drawing, keep painting, and you'll eventually work out of it. That did not work for me. So my story, it's very short, but I feel that it's important to share. So several years ago, before I started working as a full-time artist, I needed to stay connected to my work somehow, to painting somehow. I knew that I needed to stay connected, but my heart really just wasn't in it. I did not feel like that I was very good, and I kept getting these little thoughts in my head from people who had told me previously that I was not good enough to be a full-time artist, that I needed to just keep it as a hobby. Just all of these negative thoughts just kind of sit in the back of your mind. So I was working on a painting and I couldn't seem to finish it. I thought that if I put it on an easel and I put it next to my washer and dryer in the basement where I had all of my art supplies, if I put it next to my washer and dryer, every time I went to wash clothes or dry clothes or take anything out of the dryer, I would see it and it would inspire me to finish this painting. I had it up for 2 months, and instead of it becoming more of an inspiration and pulling me to it in order to finish it, I actually had the opposite happen. I started to feel very tense. I started to avoid going down to the washer and dryer because I knew that painting was going to be staring at me. and, you know, tempting me to finish it when I really just was consumed with fear. I couldn't finish it. So I started avoiding the basement and I was getting really down on myself. So I started seeing a therapist for a completely different reason. And she knew that I was struggling with this painting that I was working on. And she suggested to me, she said, what would happen if you just took the painting and put it in the closet and took every art supply, everything that reminds you of being an artist, if you just take those things, put them in a box and just put them away just for 1 month, for 30 days, what could happen? You know, and I thought about that immediately. I said, I can't do that. You know, my art is what defines me as a person. I can't just lock all of that stuff away. It would be like putting a piece of me away, and then who would I be if I didn't have my art? I was associating myself as a person with what I did. And yes, they are one and the same, because I do feel like art is so much a part of me. But at that time when I was having that block, she was exactly right, that was what I needed to do. And after a few days, I started warming up to the idea, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try this, because obviously what I'm doing right now is not working. So I took the painting, I took the easel, I took every art supply that I had, and I put it in my attic, and I left it there for 30 days. I was surprised, really surprised, by how relieved I felt when all of that was gone. I thought that it was going to be like locking a piece of my soul away, but in reality, it just gave me a sense of relief. And I needed that break. So for 30 days, I went without painting, I went without drawing, I went without really thinking too much about my art. I did other things that I was interested in. I went sort of like, it's kind of like finding yourself again and trying to figure out what your priorities are. And that's what I did with those 30 days. And when I didn't have that painting to look at, after about day 14 or 15, I would say, I started missing the idea of painting. So it took a little over 2 weeks for me to really settle into the idea that, you know, why was I so worried about finishing that painting? I mean, if I don't like it, I can always paint over it and start again. I mean, I'm not doing this as a commission. It's not that I'm going to disappoint anybody if it doesn't work out. So why am I so concerned about it? So after day 30, I pulled everything back out, because I was ready by that time to do that. I pulled everything back out. I immediately sat down and I just started painting again for the joy of it, because I missed it. It was like an old friend that I hadn't seen in a long time that suddenly just came back to visit. So I guess the moral of this story is that, yes, it's a good idea to push onward and to try and get past your fear. But if that is not working for you, you might want to consider what my therapist considered to me, because it really did work for me. It put my mind in sort of the right frame of mind. It made me see things a lot more clearly. Sometimes you don't know what you are missing until it's gone. I'm sure you've heard of that saying, and that really happened with me. Once it was gone for a while, I really started to miss it, and I put it into a perspective that the only thing that was keeping me from being happy about creating was me. So I kind of had to get out of my own way and realize that, you know, it's not something to be fearful of. It's something to embrace and enjoy. So I hope this video has helped you. I would love to hear any comments that you have. If you have experienced anything like this, if you've done this technique, if it's worked for you, what is it that you do to get over your fear of creating? Have you tried any new techniques? I would love to start a discussion down in the comments section below. So I hope you appreciated this video, and I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that you do keep pressing on with your art, because if you love it and it's a part of you, you will find a way to get back to it and get back to creating. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.